Caden with Scott in the backfield. Here comes the blitz again. Scott has it, brings it high, touchdown Valdosta State. Got a drive going. They're showing blitz. They come down in the end zone. Touchdown! It is a great throw and a catch. Starting at their own 25-yard line, leading by a point. Hand off the left side. He's not going to go anywhere. Fumble! Blazers picked it up. Down at the 11. Cedric O'Neal with the football inside the 5. Cedric, touchdown Valdosta State. And Gary Johnston's got him moving down the field. They need to score a pretty quick one if they can. He's being pressured, being chased. He's going to go down. Tyler Josie's got him. Just watching the play clock. Blazers snap it. Inside handoff. Touchdown Valdosta State. Austin Scott makes it 48-21. And how sweet is this for Valdosta State?
It's sweet for me, guys. I'm telling you.
The David Dean Show. Your weekly look at Valdosta State University Blazer football. Here's your host, Dick Rocky, along with head coach David Dean, for a look at this week's Blazer football action.
Hello and welcome to the David Dean Show. I'm Dick Rocky with the head coach. Valdosta State 49-21 over West Alabama on a cool Saturday afternoon. The Blazers will advance to the third round of the Division II playoffs. And Coach Dean, what a great win for your football team. But before we get into the great stuff, one of the worst starts I can imagine you could have had on a Saturday afternoon.
Well, it was a nightmare for sure, the opening of the game, the great kickoff return that they had, and then the fumble, the second play that we're in, and quickly we're down 14-0. And then, you know, luckily for our kids, they kept their composure, they came back and they played hard, and we were able to take over the football game late.
I told you they looked nervous to me. You said it was more they were just so excited wanting to play hard and play well that they maybe were overpumped.
Well, I think nerves had a lot to do with it, and then when you're so keyed up and so excited about playing and then avenging a loss from earlier in the year, and our kids wanted to win that game and beat the Gulf South Conference champions, you play all that into it. I think we were just doing a little bit too much instead of just relaxing and playing football like we know how to play.
All right, Coach. A great first half coming up for West Alabama, and we'll be there to look at that in just a moment.
Valdosta State University. Encouraging.
In-depth inquiry.
Hands-on experience.
Service and involvement.
And a global view.
While offering
a beautiful residential campus.
Over 100 fields of study.
Graduate and online degrees.
And championship athletics.
All in a warm and friendly community.
Get connected and involved.
Discover your opportunities.
Valdosta State University.
Coach, West Alabama comes into this game a hot football team, a team that beat us. Nothing would make them feel better than get 2 wins over Valdosta State in the playoff. And they came in and were hot right off the button, and then things changed.
Yeah, they did. You know, I was concerned going into the game because they played 3 football games in between our game that we played with Texas A&M Kingsville. So, you know, anytime you have a possibility of having some experience going into the game, it's always a concern, and with us having that long layoff. And it showed early in the game. And then I think, you know, we kind of settled in and started playing football like we know how to play. But, you know, like we said, we got off to a slow start. Our kids never panicked. Our coaches never panicked. And we just kept playing and kept plugging, and we worked ourselves back into the game.
All right, let's watch the first half highlights. On a beautiful afternoon for football in Valdosta, and in front of us, a small crowd, but I will say a very noisy crowd.
Well, they did an outstanding job of cheering our guys on, and you know, we knew it wasn't going to be a great crowd with the Thanksgiving holidays, not a lot of students there, but here's the bad start. We get out of our lanes, and they make a great return. Great job right there by Emil Magwood, running him down, taking the angle away and preserving the touchdown and giving our defense a chance to make a stop. This is the guy that hurt us last time. Johnston, the quarterback, is an outstanding player. 26 right there, has had an outstanding year. They've done a great job of running the football, and you know, that's the one thing that they do very well coming into the game was running. And here's a little option play that they run that they end up taking the short field and scoring. And here's our second play. We catch the screen, take off, and we just don't get the ball tucked away. And now we give them the ball on the 10-yard line. And we got to make a stop. We bow up there first couple of snaps and keep them from getting into the end zone, but here's a good play here. And then on the third down right here, they run the little quarterback draw, quarterback power play, and he ends up crossing the line there. And 6 minutes into the game, we're down 14-0. We did get good position here after they had a personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct. And we were able to get the ball around midfield, and unfortunately we didn't do anything with it. We ended up getting a good punt by Dominic DeMasi, pinning them down there, forcing them to have to drive the length of the field. And this kind of started to turn a little bit right in there. We were able to start making a lot better stops here on defense. Big play here. We're not letting him get away on that quarterback draw, which is something that they hurt us with the first time. Good throw here on third down to Quinn Robertson, converting there on third down and moving the ball down the field. And then another good throw here to Gerald Ford. Wish he could have kept his feet there. He just overextended and slipped. And good run. Great to have Austin Scott back. He looked good. He's come back from that ankle injury and was making some really nice cuts. And then here's just a mistake that we make. This ball actually hit the ground right in there. He was out of bounds, and they gave them the interception. So we're turned away down in the red zone. Our defense comes out and makes a great stop and gets us the football back. And great play there by Lawrence Virgil. Good pressure by our defensive line. They have a poor punt, give us good field position. Great throw there by Caden Cochran to Gerald Ford. And then another good one right here to Gerald. I thought all of our wide receivers played another great football game. And well, what a great play. Smart heads-up play right there by Caden, just improvising, getting the ball to Austin. Great run here by Austin. Uses the official as a blocker. And we get into the end zone. Unfortunately, we missed the extra point. It's one of the things that we've done a good job all year of, and putting those points on the board afterwards, and we missed that. So we're down 14-6. They're still trying to establish the run and run the same stuff that they've been doing, and we're bowing up and making a lot better plays. Here was a big play for us right here, a little swing screen to Shontavius. Got great blocking out on the perimeter. We get good yardage. Good throw right there to Reggie Lewis, who makes a jump catch, and then a little screen, bubble screen. Reggie does a great job of hitting up in those holes on those screens. He does a good job with that. A little zone play again, and see the drive by the little man. He was driving folks down. We get them off sides, got a free play, and what a great throw and catch right there by Shontavius to go up and snatch that thing away. And we decide to kick the extra point again, and we miss it again. So we're fighting hard to get back in the game. We should be tied now, but we're still down by 2. And like all good football teams do, they respond with an outstanding drive. They move the football down the field, and then we just have a little bit of a miscommunication here in our coverage. We let a running back slip out of the backfield uncovered. They go down and make the extra point, so they're up by 9 again. And we put together a good little drive here right before the half. We get down into the red zone. Unfortunately, time runs out on us. But a good throw here to Shontavius on the dig route. And then we come back and make another good throw here to Shontavius. He makes a great catch. Saves the clock there and gets out of bounds like he's supposed to do. Good job here by Reggie. Look at the effort that he gets. Putting his hand down, refuses to go down. He's fighting hard to get yardage. We get down again with a last chance throw here into the end zone. It's just a little bit short that falls incomplete. So we go in, which I felt like we had an opportunity to at least cut it to 21-18, maybe 19 or 20 if we can go for a 2-point conversion. We missed a post route right before that deep throw. So we had a chance to score there. A little disappointing that we didn't do it, but
well, you get things calmed down a little bit. It's like I say, 21-12. You're going to get the football to start the second half, and I'll just go ahead and say it. The second half belonged to Valdosta State. It was really a totally dominating performance by your entire football team. We'll be back with those highlights in just a moment. Welcome back to the David Dean Show. Coach, you go in the locker room down 21-12, but as we said, your football team, after we get to second half of kickoff, nothing happens, but from that point on, 37 unanswered points by Valdosta State.
Well, it was a great second half for us, and it was a fun half. You know, I think our kids really enjoyed playing that game, and I think we took the fight to them. You know, we had heard that they were a four-quarter team, and we wanted to prove that we were a four-quarter team. And I think we made a loud statement in that.
We did. Let's get to the highlights, and there's a bunch of them for Valdosta State. All good.
We really came out. It doesn't look like it, but we came out of the locker room pretty excited about playing this second half. And we don't get a great kickoff return to start the second half. We miss a couple of blocks in there and let some guys run free, and so we end up starting there around the 23-yard line. We put together a nice little drive. Here's a good read by Caden, gets positive yardage. I think one of the things that they went into that game plan defensively was to not let Caden Cochran hurt him with his legs. They had a guy spying on him the whole time. And here's just a mistake that we make. You know, you throw the interception. And we had a good drive going. We turned the ball over, and I think our defense did an outstanding job of responding. This was one of those times where you come out of the locker room, you're really excited, and then you turn the ball over, you can get deflated in a hurry. We didn't do that. We kept fighting. We get a great stop there by the defense, and there's another one of those plays where our guys don't give up. They don't go down, and they keep fighting for extra yards. Again, there's some more positive yards there on our bubble screen. And then good job here, throwing the ball over the middle there to Reggie again. You love the fight in Reggie. Reggie doesn't like to go down. He believes he's going to score every time he touches the ball. Great run again by Austin Scott. And then there's a great job of lowering your shoulder. There's a little man that just refuses to go down. We go for two. We make it, so we cut it to a one-point game, and then here was a big play in the game. We strip the ball. We finally get a turnover from those guys, and we get the ball down there on the 10-yard line. And it's a great job here by a true freshman, Cedric O'Neal, getting in the end zone there for the touchdown. And here's a two-point conversion again. We throw to Reggie, and quickly we're up by 7. And from this point on, we pretty much took the game over. From that first drive that we had that scored there. Great play here. We forced them to throw the ball away and get an intentional grounding. And get good field position there. We go back to our run game once again, and you can just see great moves there by Austin. He's got great vision, great feet, just working hard, and there he is again, just going untouched into the end zone, puts us up by 14. We finished the third quarter that way, up by 14, and now we kind of put West Alabama in a position where they don't like to be in, and that's throwing the football. We do a great job. This is a play that they hurt us on in the first half with a screen. And then, well, this was a backbreaker, I think, for West Alabama. We get a great return, great blocking. Quinn does a great job of setting up blocks all the way down the field. And we get the ball inside the 10-yard line off the return. First play after this, Cade does a great job again reading it, puts us down at the 2-yard line, and then we give it right back to Cedric, and he sticks it in the end zone, and now we've doubled up their score. And we've got it in control. We just can't give up a big play at this point. And great play there by Dominic Wheeler. Dominic had probably one of the best games that he's played since he's been here. Outstanding coverage on a very good wide receiver. There's Lawrence Virgil again making another sack. I thought he and Tevin Davis and Tyler Josie, as you see right there, all did an outstanding job putting pressure on the quarterback. Andrew Lawrenson, kind of an unsung guy there, drew a lot of double and triple teams that opened up a lot of guys. We had a big play there by Dominique on the corner blitz. Here's a good throw right here to R.J. Davis, converting on a third down. Great run again by our freshman. Our offensive line, again, they did an outstanding job of opening up holes. And there you see Austin Scott again. He goes in untouched. And that was probably about 6 or 7 minutes left in the game when we go up there, and we got the ball back later and moved the ball down, ended up punting, put them in a position where they had to drive the length of the field, and they couldn't do it.
Coach Austin Scott, 20 carries, 133 yards, 3 touchdowns. O'Neal, 12 carries, 50 yards, 3 touchdowns. Your receivers, all of them were, I mean, it's just a team effort. And then I know you don't forget this, but those big 5 guys up front, they protected the quarterback. There were some big holes.
Yeah, there were huge holes in our run game. And as you can see, watching the highlights, Caden had a lot of time to throw the football. And when you can do that, our receivers are going to find a way to get open. But outstanding run blocking, outstanding pass blocking. Our receivers out wide were blocking for our wide receivers. As you can see, those guys were running untouched into the end zone when they're getting through those holes. It was just a great effort by everybody, not only on offense, but just defense as well. We hold those guys to about 61 yards total offense in the second half, and 180 for the game. That's a very good offense. They did that too.
Great win for the Blazers. We will be back in just a moment with the Gander Mountain scoreboard.
I got my MBA online at VSU. As a working mom who travels on business, I needed an MBA program that fit my schedule and allowed me to balance both my work and home life. VSU's Web MBA was perfect. I was able to spend time with my family in the evenings and then complete my assignments. My MBA is one of my greatest accomplishments. It was hard work, but I would do it again in a heartbeat. Don't wait. Start your MBA today.
Welcome back to the Gander Mountain scoreboard. And Coach Dean, just a couple of scores. Carson Newman, our next opponent, 38-35 over Lenore Ryan, had to come back and score with less than 3 minutes to go in the game. Well,
Carson Newman is predominantly one of the top Division II teams in the country. Been a great small college team for many, many years. They run that split back veer, very tough to defend. Got a great coaching staff. It's going to be a heck of a challenge for us.
And 2 other scores I'm going to give, and the reason so, the winner of our region will play the winner of this region, and that's Missouri Western 45-21 over Henderson State, who was undefeated, and we know very well.
Yeah, Henderson State's had a great year, and I think they went to Henderson and beat those guys.
And Minnesota State 38-35 over Northwest Missouri. So Minnesota State will play Missouri Western, then Carson Newman or Valdosta State will play one of those 2 teams.
Right, Minnesota Mankato is going to host that game. They actually beat Northwest Missouri, I think, in a couple of overtimes, so it was a heck of a football game, and that's who we're matched up with. We got to win this week, you know, and hopefully we can't look ahead. We got to put this game behind us and get ready for Carson Newman now.
All right, and we'll get to that in just a moment. We'll be back with the Langdale Honda Kia look ahead in just a second.
Valdosta State University. Encouraging.
In-depth inquiry.
Hands-on experience.
Service and involvement.
And a global view.
While offering
a beautiful residential campus.
Over 100 fields of study.
Graduate and online degrees.
And championship athletics.
All in a warm and friendly community.
Get connected and involved.
Discover your opportunities.
Valdosta State University.
Welcome back to the Langdale Honda Kia look ahead, and Coach Carson Newman, a team, as we said, we're very familiar with over past years. But real quick, you know, I just took a quick look. You know what they're going to do. They're going to run the football. They've rushed it 686 times this year, averaging over 380 yards a game rushing, 50 rushing touchdowns. Have only thrown the ball 110 times. What are you going to do?
Well, I mean, obviously we got to stop the run, and everything in that veer happens so fast. Everything's down the line, and you know, they're well coached. They've always given us problems anytime we've played them. We face them always in the playoffs, or a lot since I think 2002 in the playoffs. You know, and the one thing that you got to do is you got to load up on the run. But you got to do a great job in the secondary with your corners of locking up their wide receivers, because at some point they'll pull that thing back when you're least expecting and throw that ball down the field.
And one of the good things, they're giving up defensively 399 yards a game. That's a pretty good amount of yardage per game.
Yeah, a lot of teams in that South Atlantic Conference all run the football, so they're all giving up a lot of yards rushing. So it's going to be a challenge for our offensive line again to be able to run the football like we did this past Saturday. You know, we'll have to watch them a little bit and see what we can get into the secondary as far as our throws are concerned. Big key, again, is always going to be special teams. We got to make big plays. You know, you and I talked on Friday, and we said we got to have a big play, a big return in that kicking game, and we got that with Quinn Robertson's big punt.
And having to do with that, you had an issue this week with your place kicker, Daniel Anderson, was injured, non-football injury, and you had to call one of your guys who was home for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was kind of a hectic Thanksgiving day. We found out on Wednesday night that Daniel Anderson tore a ligament in his knee, was not going to be able to kick, and we had to call Dominic DeMasi back from Savannah. He had gone home for Thanksgiving. We called him back, and you talk about a guy responding. He came in and had an outstanding game, pinned them inside the 15-yard line 3 times on 3 punts. Just an outstanding effort by a guy that, you talk about when a guy goes down, a guy steps up. Dominic did that, and we're really proud of him.
And we'll go ahead and mention it because this is important going into this game. Jake Walker had to do the extra points, had a struggle to start, but calmed down, and really thanks to some help from Daniel Anderson.
Well, he did. He missed the first one, and then we put in Austin to kick the second one, not Austin, but Graham Craig to kick the second one, and he missed it. And we just said, hey, we're going to go with Jake. That's why we brought him in here. He's a good kicker. He can do it. But Daniel did a great psychology work on him. And, that's what senior leadership does. And Daniel really worked with him. They're good friends. And we're really proud to see him respond for those last 4 kicks. He boomed them. He kicked them through there. And an impressive day.
Now, as far as film, y'all be swapping each of these last games? Is that what you get to look at?
Well, we get the entire season, and we picked up every game that they've had up to this past Saturday, last Thursday. We've got all those in, so then we'll pick up the Lenore-Ryan game that they had this past Saturday. It came in yesterday. We'll start to break it down, and it's just going to be good to get back onto a normal schedule. Not having a Thanksgiving break and not having the off. And do we play these guys, or who do we play? Now we know we play Carson Newman, so we can get back onto a regular schedule.
All right, Coach. Well, congratulations on a great win with your football team, 49-21 over West Alabama. And the Blazers will be playing in the third round, I guess, of the Division II playoffs, 12 noon Saturday at Bazemore Hyder Stadium against Carson Newman. The students will be back on campus, so we're hoping we'll have a nice crowd there this coming Saturday afternoon. So for the head coach, David Dean, I'm Dick Rocky. Have a great week.